great, and I'm here with my sister wife.
Hey riders, what's up? It's your girl AB. And I wanted to read this comment this girl left us.
Okay.
Some of y'all have never had a real man, and it shows. Meanwhile, some of us women aren't about sharing STDs. You're out here convincing yourself you're a sister wife, but the whole time you're just a side chick. And let's be real, y'all are not ready for that conversation. You might have been manipulated by your man, but please don't try to manipulate others with this nonsense.
Bitch, I know you thought you was about to shut down the whole comment section once ChatGPT sent you that shit with all them dashes. Listen, first of all, I just want to tell you guys something. I already know that when me and my sister wife go on here and we're explaining our polyfly lifestyle, which is one man, one king, sharing queens, sharing being sister wives, I already know it's going to trigger the square bitches to the motherfucking max.
Yes.
I understand how that can be so triggering, because truly you've been manipulated. We've also been manipulated. We as women have been manipulated through the media, through music.
That's why you're so triggered.
Countless records about the boy is mine, about being a couple, about you're my only one, I'm jealous, I don't share. Countless movies. Hollywood has done a tremendous job. Disney has done a tremendous job. The colonizers' conditioning is it runs very deep in our community. And so I understand, and I have empathy, and I have compassion. Me and my sister wife always try to practice empathy and compassion, because we understand that we are brainwashed, and we understand how triggering it can be to hear the truth, and for your subconscious to wake up and be like, you know what, this message actually makes sense. Polyfly actually makes sense. Having a sister wife actually makes sense. There is a shortage of men out here, and we're trying to be selfish and hold on to the good niggas, even though the niggas is still cheating. You lying to yourself, bitch. You know that nigga wants some new pussy, bitch.
You know
he tired of fucking you, bitch.
You know that shit.
You know that shit.
That's why you're mad.
Why the fuck I gotta sit on here with my sister wife and tell you some obvious motherfucking shit? And I'm not even mad when I do it. I'm just telling you. Ain't nobody over here no side bitch. We ride for the same motherfucking cause. We stand for the same shit. We're loyal to the same nigga. We're not here motherfucking pulling up on bitches fighting over dick. That shit's fucking ridiculous, bitch. You see all the shit that's going on with these motherfucking bitches in the media every fucking day, crying because they want a motherfucking man and can't have a man because they're fucking stuck in their ways. I love you though. BBLU.
Shalom. Koholayam La Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, to the Akim doing the work in truth and sincerity, as well as a few Akwat that listen and learn. This is Brother Shawar with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And just wanted to get onto this topic of, on how the relationship between men and women is supposed to be, and this isn't a serious topic. It's really one of the, everything in the scriptures is serious and meaningful, but, this is one of the less important or less urgent topics, I would say, in these times, being in these last days. But nonetheless, it's a part of it. It was on my spirit to do. It's of course good to go into at times, but, the way the Lord set things up for men and women to be is to be polygamous. Is for one man to have multiple women, as many as he can handle and provide for, and in a lot of cases, as many as he desires. Right, and right now, being a man in this society, in Esau Edom's, wicked kingdom, the men have been pretty much physically, mentally, and societally castrated to where, the ideologies have been pushed, as the girl was saying in the video, the media, and then this is all Esau Edom's doing. This is all the so-called white man's doing. It really was aimed at the Israelite man to destroy the family and, as well as population control, and just keep us further away from our customs and being together as Israelites. The so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans. But now it's everybody, right? That's how Esau has. That's what he's created. And in the video, Eva's, they're spinning facts. She's a little ghetto. The curses, you see the curses in full effect. But nonetheless, the point being, this is the spirit that's going to come back through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai on the women. Women are going to snap back in order, and even before the kingdom. But when the kingdom comes, it's not even going to be up for debate. It's going to be within their spirit to embrace it, right? But this is how things are supposed to be. The scriptures show you, that, of course, it's in the law as well, and we'll read it. But, there's multiple examples that is the standard. That's how the Lord designed men to be. That's how the Lord designed, especially the Israelite men, to be. And he designed women to be, the opposite, to desire one man and to, supposed to be only with one man, her whole life. And when men and women are in love and they get into a deep relationship, that's, those feelings and everything, you see it through the spirit. Nature takes its course, right? But as I was saying, Esau has created all these ideologies with monogamy and, uplifting the woman and making them feel super special, far beyond what they really are, and, confusing the roles and mixing the roles with feminism and, all the gender equality BS, countless plays on the mind that Esau has done over the years to create what we have today, which is a failing society in many ways, but especially, dealing with this topic and with relationships and men and women, right? So this like in all reality, this monogamy thing is not it. And granted, we are under the curses. We are in, we're not in our rest. We're at a disadvantage as Israelites in this society. So especially if you're in the ministry, you're a teacher or a prophet, whatever, it's probably best to deal with one woman or no woman, really, whatever spirit the Lord puts on you, right? Not, because this is not the time to just be trying to gather up a bunch of wives or whatever, Every brother's different. Every man has their own capacity, and whatever they can handle. But this is just, it's for edification's sake, right? And at the end of the day, this is the real. So let's get some scriptures. Don't want to make this too long, and then, we'll close it out after a handful of scriptures. So this is Isaiah 4:1, and it reads, "And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach." So the Lord is going to, break down and destroy this current wicked infrastructure you see in front of you, Babylon the Great, America, and, other places in the world as well, but especially Babylon the Great. He's going to destroy it. And the women are going to, in the midst of the destruction and the chaos of Jacob's trouble, this is the mentality they're going to take on, right? And going back to the video, Shorty was making some valid points with, like basically just bringing out the real. Like this is how men operate, and if you really understand men and you really, are a woman in your real feminine, your real womanly mentality, then this is something you're going to accept and understand. And there's a righteous way to do it. I'm sure, even these polygamous relationships of this time, they be off, they be doing a bunch of wickedness and whatnot, and it don't be of the Lord, so, but she did bring out some valid points, right? That's why I put the video there, because this is the spirit, again, that's going to take place, whether the women want to accept it or not, because, women are super prideful in this time. They don't, and they've been taught a bunch of BS. Like she even referenced the movies and the media, all these movies teaching women that there should just be one man, that this great man, this prince or whatever, this king, that they get all to themselves and they just live happily ever after. And no, that's not how the Lord set things up to be. Men are supposed to have multiple women for the purpose of nation building, the purpose of, family, business, right? All these things are in the ancient world were, this is how the Lord made it, and the Lord gave us the laws and everything on it. So let's get Matter of fact, let's stay in Isaiah quick. We'll get the law later, right after this. But let's go to Isaiah 13 and 11. And this is it says, "And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man in the golden wedge of Ophir." And not just any man, right? It's talking about a man of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, a man serving the true names, the true power of the heavens and earth, and his only begotten son, which is Yahweh being the heavenly father and Yahweh Shai being his son. In truth and sincerity, right? You know, doing it to the best of their ability, being sincere, right? And then really ultimately the elect. So not just any man, right? A man of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 13. "Therefore I will shake the heavens and earth. I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger." Right? So basically the destruction is going to be so bad that the earth is going to shake itself. But the point being, a man is going to be more precious than fine gold. It's going to be a man of the Lord is going to be a safe haven, is going to be protection at the highest level in the days of Jacob's trouble. And this is when you're going to see women flip the switch. They're going to, all this feminism BS and, you know, this independent woman shit, like all this stuff, this mentality they have is out the window. The Lord is going to humble everybody, especially these women, man. And still most people that's going to die is going to be women because of the wickedness and the pride that they have. And that's all women, you know, Israelite women, of course, too, but all women at this point, right? So as I mentioned earlier, you know, the Lord, this is in the law, right? That if a man has another wife, you know, what he needs to do, you know, with his other wife and both of them. So let's get into it real quick, because a lot of people, you know, like like Christians and the Catholics, you know, it's basically attached to white supremacy and then the madness that Esau has pushed all over the world through the years. But this is the BS they push, right? They contort certain scriptures. They don't bring out these ones, that's for sure. But they take certain scriptures and they try to make it seem as if, you know, the Lord is saying, or the Apostle Paul was saying, you're supposed to only have one woman, when he was just giving advice to those that are in the ministry, saying it's better to, you know, have no wife if you're in the ministry, you know, if possible. But if you can't, you know, if that spirit's not on you, then just to have one. And even if you have one, to move as if you don't have one, right? It was advice. That's not the law, right? There's plenty of examples of men in the scriptures, you know, King Solomon, King David, you know, Jacob, you know, the 12 tribes of Israel coming out of 4 different women from the same seed line, right? And these are men of the Lord that the Lord was heavily dealing with. So again, you know, this is what we're dealing with, right? A bunch of deception that Esau's put out. So let's get this in Exodus 21:10. It reads, "If he take him another wife, her food and her raiment and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish." So simply stating, if a man, you know, has a wife and he takes another wife, meaning another woman, another person, one more plus one, you know, her food, raiment, her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. You know, he's supposed to take care of both of them equally. You're not supposed to forget about the first one, you know, or your other wives, whatever. So it's a balance. And as I mentioned earlier, like, you know, I don't know if I mentioned it, but men of substance usually had, you know, a lot of wives or whatever. But in this time, it's not ideal to have that because it is more responsibility. Although, you know, Jake don't realize, and these girls don't realize that it would help a lot. It would be a lot, multiple sources of income. You know, you would be a lot more stable. You know, it would be better. You know, people would be better off if they applied the laws and statutes and commandments dealing with relationships. But, you know, we're in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. We're in a wicked society, a wicked world where things are backwards and good is evil and evil is good. So, like you have to think about it. Like Esau has made it to where a man and two men can get married, but it's illegal to have multiple wives. Like officially, like, it's madness when you really break it down. But again, this is the spirit. The spirit is coming back, right? And this is a recent video, so the spirit is, the Lord is turning. He's flipping the script, right? He's bringing it back to the righteous way. So let's get one more scripture in the book of 1 Peter, and we'll start at this is 1 Peter 3:1. And in the kingdom, this is what it's going to go back to, right? It's going to go back to, that Genesis 3:16 spirit, where, the women are actually going to be in their right mind, and wanting to serve their man and playing their role correctly, because, that's the woman's role, man. It was to serve the man, right? And in serving the man, you reap the benefits of your man serving Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and the blessings passed down, right? But these women, there's a concept that they will never understand. But in the kingdom, this is what it's going to go back to, right? So 1 Peter 3:1, it reads, and this is how it should be: likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives, right? And notice it said ye wives, plural, wives, more than one. Verse 2, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear, whose adorning let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and the wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of the Most High of great price. Verse 5, for after this manner in the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in the Most High, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well, and are not afraid with any amazement. And likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. So this is what it's going to go back to in the kingdom, right? They're going to be in subjection. They're going to be in the right mind. They're going to be, serving the men in righteousness. And the men are also going to be in their righteous mindset as well. So we're going to be serving the Lord, because the law is going to be put on our inward parts, right? Soon in the book of Hebrews, the 8th chapter. And 1 Corinthians 15 and around the 50th verse. We're going to be made perfect beings, right? In the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? And then also in Matthew 19, it talks about us, or the hopeful elect, those that are pursuing the Lord in truth and sincerity, receiving back 100-fold everything they lost on this side, right? So that includes wives, right? Everything. So, and we're going to have it's going to be a normal thing, but so many wives that it's hard to keep count of. But like I said in the beginning of the video, this isn't a crazy topic, because that's just going to be so normal and a part of life. But in this time, it's so, it's so hard to fathom because of the wicked system and ideologies Esau has created, right? So as Eve was saying in the video, this is something that women need to understand, that this is what it is. We would be a lot better off if we stuck to this. But, in this time, most women aren't going to get it. Let's be real, right? This is just bringing out the edification, So however the Lord bless you with your situation, take advantage of it and, deal righteously. But this is just the facts of the matter, right? So I'll close it here. You know, Lord willing, this was edifying. The spirit is coming back, right? And whether they like it or not, this is what it is. So I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, and the Bible Ball.